Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every man's life when he must draw a line, not out of arrogance, not out of pride, but out of deep self-respect, a line that declares, "This is what I will not tolerate, not because I think less of you, but because I value myself." It is time to talk openly and honestly about certain behaviors that no man, no matter how kind, patient, or understanding, should ever silently endure, not because women are the enemy, but because self-worth is not a gift, it is a boundary. The first behavior is emotional manipulation. It doesn't always wear a mask of cruelty. It can wear a smile, speak in whispers, or cry on demand. It's the behavior where a woman weaponizes guilt, silence, or affection to control a man's emotions or actions. A man who finds himself constantly doubting his own reality, apologizing for things he didn't do, or changing who he is to maintain peace is not in love. He's being emotionally handled like a puppet. That is not love, that is slow erosion. The second behavior is disrespect in public. Disagreements happen, conflict is normal, but when a woman chooses to humiliate, mock, or criticize her man in front of others, she is not just expressing frustration. She is declaring superiority. A man should never normalize being embarrassed or belittled by the one person who claims to love him. Public disrespect is not passion, it is poison. Third, constant comparisons. When a woman constantly compares her man to other men exes, co-workers, influencers, what she's doing is quietly planting seeds of inadequacy. A man is not a mold of every other person, he is his own being. If she cannot love you for who you are, but only for who you could be if you were someone else, she's not with you, she's chasing shadows. Fourth is entitlement without contribution. Relationships are built on effort, not on one-sided expectations. If she expects gifts, time, money, loyalty, emotional availability, but gives little to nothing in return, she doesn't want a partner, she wants a servant. Love is not a list of demands. No man should feel like a walking ATM or a 24/7 therapist just to be tolerated. The fifth behavior is withholding affection as punishment. Intimacy, touch, and kind words are not to be treated like rewards for good behavior. When a woman uses withdrawal of affection to control or punish a man, it creates a cold war within the relationship. A man begins to associate love with performance and punishment. That is not how bonds are built. It's how they break. Sixth, obsession with control. A man does not exist to be monitored. He has the right to a private life, to friendships, to decisions, to his own time. When a woman tries to dominate his every move, question his every text, monitor his every outing, she's not being protective, she's being possessive. Trust is the foundation of love. Without it, you're just a prisoner in a pretty cell. Seventh, weaponizing victimhood. Some women use pain, real or exaggerated, as a tool to avoid accountability. Whenever they're called out, they cry louder. Whenever they hurt someone, they blame someone else. A man should not have to tiptoe around the truth just because someone chooses to wear their wounds like armor. Accountability is the birthplace of growth. If she refuses to look inward, she'll always be the victim, and you'll always be the villain. Finally, the eighth and most dangerous behavior, disloyalty disguised as independence. There's a difference between being independent and being careless with commitment. Some women hide behind freedom to excuse flirtation, dishonesty, or betrayal. But a man doesn't deserve to feel like a temporary option while being expected to give permanent devotion. If she demands loyalty, but lives like she's single, the imbalance is not empowering, it's exploitation. These behaviors are not always loud. They don't always come with sirens or scars, but they chip away at a man's self-respect, piece by piece, smile by smile, silence by silence. And one day, he wakes up as a stranger to himself, wondering how he lost his fire. The answer isn't hate, the answer is clarity. Respect is not a gendered privilege, it's a human right.